Welcome back to the show. The Wall Journey was such a beautiful, beautiful story. And one of my commenters said that the end starts right back at the beginning. You know, my dad told me a story one time. I was very young, I was 16. And my cousin was like, your dad just told me the most brilliant story that could ever be told. I looked at him like, man, my dad didn't do that. I mean, my dad, at that time in my life, I didn't really respect my dad because of my mother and him separating when I was young and all the ins and outs that went on during my upbringing, So I had lost a lot of respect for my father, which was wrong because my dad tried after he had came out of, certain situations that he had going on in his personal life, However, my cousin kept bugging me about this story. So I said, you know what? Let me hear it out. So I went into his mother's kitchen, my auntie's kitchen, and I sat at a table. And my dad began to tell me a story about the man, the black cat, and the subway. He said a man was standing in a subway, waiting for his train to arrive. And as he waited, he noticed that a black cat was in the subway. And the man pondered upon that black cat as it slowly crept its way towards him. Before the black cat could cross his path, his train arrived that was to go to his destination. And he stepped upon that train before the cat could cross his path. And as he was on that train, he contemplated that cat the whole time, moving from that particular door down to the far door in that train's cabin, contemplating that black cat the whole time. And he noticed in the offing towards his destination, a black cat walking in the subway again. And he thought to himself, could that be the same black cat I saw at the beginning of my destination? And as the train stopped that he was upon, the door opened that he now stood in front of, and that black cat crossed his path. And as he looked down the way to where that black cat was walking, he saw himself standing outside that train looking down at that cat. And just before that black cat could cross his other self path, his other self walked upon the train that he was upon to go to his destination. And when that happened, he fell forward out of the train, had a heart attack, and died. At that time in my life, I thought that was the dumbest story ever. I was like, man, what is he talking about? He never explained to me the story. He never gave me the hint of what it meant. But as I aged, and as I grew older, I understood it. One of the most fantastic tales ever. And I remember the story basically verbatim. He told me that story one time, and I remember it basically verbatim. I will not tell you what that story meant, but Pink Floyd, The Wall. Check out that series if you haven't seen it yet. You will be mind blown. Check out those reactions, The Wall reactions on Pink Floyd. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Pink Floyd, out of this world. Now, today, I was going to do the movie And I said, wow, that's going to be a big task because I want to do it right. So I'm going to take my time with that one. I want to really take my time with that one because of the aforementioned. I want to take my time. So please forgive me. I want to take my time with that one. So today I'm going to do Echoes, the Pompeii concert. Pink Floyd never ceases to amaze me. I appreciate all my subscribers. The very best. The very best. You guys are the very best. Very best. Francis, the very best. Go Flies 68, great. All the other commenters, fabulous. I can't name you all. Francis, always saying something nice, polite, and courteous. It's just all the information. It's just absolutely amazing. It's amazing. And to those who are not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscription. But without further ado, let's get to Echoes, the Pompeii concert.
Motionless upon the air, and deep beneath the rolling waves, in labyrinths of coral caves, the echo of a distant time comes willowing across the sand, and everything is green and submarine. Separate glances meet, and I am you, and what I see is me. And do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land and help me understand the best I can? And no one calls us to move on. No one
That was absolutely stunning. 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 Like a hornet. Like a swarm of African bees, man. Wow. Deadly. Absolutely spectacular, man. Pink Floyd is on a different level. I mean, man, listen. These guys over in Europe, I don't know. I mean, I've said this many times. Like, they had to have had ancestors that tapped in with some type of frequency that's not normal in the States. Under the ocean waves, you have coral reefs with caves. And then upon the land, they hold hand in hand upon the sand to Mount Vesuvius, destroying that area in Pompeii. The volcanic explosion, magma, lava, the destruction, petrification, the echoes, life and death. Man, this Nick Mason, was that Nick Mason on the drums? Was that Nick Mason on the drums? David Gilmour blowing it, guitar, the collaboration of the music coming together, just a symphony of music. Vocals, man, listen. Pink Floyd can rip you apart, rip you asunder, relentlessly. The greatest band ever. Ever. Not even close. Not even close. I do have to listen to Led Zeppelin. Real. However, Pink Floyd, man. I am going to get to the movie The Wall. Please be patient with me. Please be patient. The Wall album was extremely pensive, so deep. I can only imagine what the movie is. I'm in recovery right now, so please extol some patience upon me, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. But I want to enjoy that movie with you guys, if that's possible. You guys have been the very best, my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. To those who are not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscription. Leave a comment below, leave a like, share this video, and until next time, deuces.